Today we are talking about the Justice Society, World War II. Oh boy. Justice Society, who are they? They're some 1940s characters, so that means we got Wonder Woman leading the crew along with Hawkman, the Egyptian who can resurrect and has wings and flies around. We'll get more into it later. Anyways, we got our man who takes a pill and is basically on steroids for an hour of the day. I actually hadn't known much about our man going into this, but I guess you learn about him in the beginning. And then we also have the original Flash, Jay Garrick, the one with the helmet on his head. And we have Black Canary, who debuted in Flash like 86, I want to say. 1947 though, that's the big thing. So she wouldn't have been around for the Nazis, but we won't, it's fine, we'll let it slide. All 1940s characters, they're fighting the Nazis, and this is actually, from a writing standpoint, more of a modern day contemporary Flash story. So this is where I think the writers and the marketers kind of crossed their wires a little bit, because our Flash, as we know him, Barry Allen, the one with the lightning on his chest, not the helmet. Barry Allen Flash he's having a picnic with Iris West, and he's in Metropolis, and he sees Superman fighting Brainiac, and he says, I'm gonna go help. So he goes helps, and in trying to help Superman, his actions cause him to travel not only back in time, but cross another dimension. What? So here he is in a brand new Earth, and he meets these, Elseworld characters. From our modern day perspective, our Earth one is Barry Allen's Earth. But from the storytelling, and they even make a point to say it, they claim to be Earth 1. I could see why they would say that. It's their Earth. And these are the original characters, like the original Flash and then the new Flash. But DC's on this big kick of they want a cohesive, iconic, seamlessly, threaded together DC universe. And you got this Hawkman who is not necessarily from Thanagar, like he doesn't say that. He claims to be an ancient Egyptian. And then you got the Green Lantern movie that I just watched, which has Hawk Girl, who is definitely Thanagarian. That's like her whole thing. We're trying to focus on these, Justice Society characters when really it's Flash's, like our Flash's decision to help Superman that leads him to go into this dimension. And he has a lesson to learn. He has to stop the Nazis. He's really driving the plot. And at the end of the movie, he pops out back into the animated universe that we're all familiar with now. It has the Superman from the Man of Tomorrow movie. So I think the marketers made a mistake of trying to say this is a Justice Society movie with the Flash in it, when really it's a Flash movie featuring the Justice Society, more along the lines of Flashpoint. I mean, it even has Wonder Woman going against Aquaman, and the Atlanteans are going to help the Nazis take over the world. I just saw Black Panther 2, and you had a whole different group of Atlanteans who are going to take over the world without the Nazis. They're actually going to take out the world's superpower, Wakanda, and in this case, the superpower would have been, either the US or Germany, the Nazis. So if anything, the Atlanteans, they don't need the Nazis, and the Nazis should be worried about the Atlanteans. But the reason that they are not worried about the Atlanteans is because of one of my least favorite plot devices, which is mind control. They have this unnamed character. I looked it up. His name is on IMDb, The Advisor, and on the Google search, it just said, Le Conseiller. Excuse me. My French is terrible, clearly, as you can tell. But this nameless character who's not like from the DC universe has captured and mind-controlled Dr. Fate and is manipulating them into helping, somehow Dr. Fate is being held by the Nazis, which is ridiculous. He literally decides to leave when he's done. He was only being held captive by the Nazis so that he could communicate with our Flash to come across dimensions, and he could have done that without being captured by the Nazis, let's be real. When he's delivered the message, he's like, okay, I'm bye now. Why would you do that to Dr. Fate instead of actually using him as a character on the team? Other than he's too powerful and could stop the Nazis. Just like the Atlanteans are too powerful, but Aquaman is being mind controlled by the Advisor. This Advisor character who we don't give two squirts of piss about. For that reason, they're not stopping the Nazis. They're helping them, He's not acting like himself. And, I want characters to have their own motivations and to choose what they're doing and why, and, it's clear. So to put someone as powerful and important as Aquaman under mind control takes away the narrative potential of what you could do with the character. You got these two things that are taken away from it for me, which is, three actually. You got the imitation flashpoint, you have the mind control, and then just time travel in general, not my thing. I like the characterization. I like the animation style. It kind of looks like the Super Friends, but of course, animation has moved on quite a bit since the Super Friends series. So they've kind of got these anime camera angles, and you got a little more detail in the drawings. Things like in the gap between Wonder Woman's bracelets, you can see the leather straps that's holding them together. So just little things, makes it feel a little more real, a little more lived in for an animated feature. So I enjoyed that. Oh, Hawkman dies at the end, alluding to resurrection again, which I picked up the first time. Yeah, he could come back. But this is a whole other world. So I mentioned I was worried that you have the Egyptian Hawkman angle, but you also have Hawk Girl from the Green Lantern movie who's Thanagarian, but that's a whole different dimension. Their storytelling is confusing me, man. I liked it, though. I liked it. But I feel like they could have done something a little different to introduce Flash, because that was the goal of the story. Ultimately, we're not introducing the Justice Society. They were in the Black Adam movie for similar reasons. You got Black Adam, who's tied to Shazam, 1940s character, who would, obviously he was in the Justice Society and he has that tie. So you bring the Justice Society into the Black Adam movie, just like you're kind of bringing the Justice Society into this Flash movie. However, they're being featured and now sort of being tossed aside, especially with Black Adam 2 being canceled. So, I don't know, seems like a big effort to try to relaunch the Justice Society. Only, I guess it failed? It was a failed attempt. What are you going to do? I'm not DC. I'm not running things. I'm just calling it like I see it based on what they're doing. I personally would have marketed this whole thing as a Flash movie because you're introducing him into this new DC animated universe that they're building. Like I mentioned, you had the Man of Tomorrow Superman. He shakes hands with Flash at the end and says, yeah, let's do a Justice League thing. In the Green Lantern cartoon, the Justice League was already assembled and already had B-list characters. And Dr. Fate is mumbling things about, should we mention the Justice League? Do we mention the League? They're obviously tying things together. And it just should have been better communicated that this is a Flash movie, not a Wonder Woman movie, because she got top billing, the voice actress and the character, and she's on the poster in the front, which I don't have a problem with. I love Wonder Woman, but it's not, like I said, it's not a Justice Society movie, and it's not a Wonder Woman movie. Just because she's leading the team and she has a big role, and Steve Trevor and all that, it's still a Flash movie, and I think they just kind of missed that. But did I like it? Yeah. Did it have things that I don't like? Yeah. Will I see it again? Yeah, I think that's the sign of whether I like these things, is whether I choose to go back and watch them. And I can already tell, maybe a month or two I'll go back and give it another watch. And I hope you gave it a watch, and I hope you enjoyed it. Tell me what you thought down below, and give me a like and subscribe, because it really makes me feel good. Oh boy. I've been your boy Diesel Tyme. Happy 2023. Oh boy, I'm going to get out of here. Peace.